What if there is no apocalypse? What if the future is rainbows and happiness? Or perhaps more likely, just a slow slide into an authoritarian, dystopian, Blade Runner type future where every purchase and move we make is monitored by big sister government. For our safety and our democracy, of course. What if you never need to heat and anneal a copper bar into a crude knife to survive on the road, and you're left instead with a big glittering orange hoard in a dingy stack and pack apartment with rampant inflation your biggest personal concern? I generally don't stack copper as a financial investment, but putting aside the value and SHTF usefulness of having finished barterable coins and bars for a moment, there's no denying the potential for any physical collectible item to gain value and potentially keep pace with inflation. If you're stacking copper anyway, let's talk today about some favorite forms and possibly even lucrative types of copper to collect, to hedge your bets. Hello, fellow mutants. As I described in a recent video on collectible items and baseball cards, the material something is made of doesn't always dictate its worth. So if you're going to stack copper rounds or bars for the many reasons I've laid out over several videos here on this channel, why not collect copper that could actually be sold for as much, if not more, than you paid for it? Consider wooden nickels or elongated pennies. If the material alone dictated the value of these, then they'd be worth very little. But if you scroll through these on eBay, you'll see that they can command somewhat impressive prices despite being made of wood or literally a cent of material cost. Similar to the Maui trade dollars I did a video on some months back, wooden tokens are a form of barter or scrip where they could be redeemed for a free drink, for example, or are just made for commemorative purposes. There is a community of people interested in collecting these, and none of them complain about the spot value of wood. Well, unless perhaps it is pricey koa wood. There is even an international organization of wooden money collectors. My point is, there is collectability to be found in almost anything. The same can hold true for copper rounds. The collectible nature of some things simply due to cultural popularity, rarity, or nostalgia is hard to argue. You may see where I'm going with this, and my idea for collecting so-called collectible copper is simple. If you're going to buy rounds or bars anyway, why not those that are at or very close to generic copper round pricing, but of limited, rare, or even one-off designs? It's my own experience that led me to this observation. There's a copper round I was looking to add to my collection. It's from the Prospector series, which was also done in silver. Specifically, it's this Sheriff round. I just like it. Can't tell you quite why, but I want one. Both sides look great. That said, I've seen them sell for as much as $10 for one round plus shipping. This got me to thinking. If I'm going to stack copper, why not do so with rounds of a limited run, great design, or rarity that someone would gladly pay more for someday? If I ever have the need to shave a little off my stack, I might even be able to turn a small profit. Here are some examples of unusual copper you could collect. Zombucks in copper. I did a video on these a while back. They are unique because they have an issue date on them. Probably not the cheapest to obtain, but would probably carry a higher premium into the future. If you are buying enough silver at a site like JM Bullion and get free shipping, maybe consider picking some of these up as well. Silver shield designs offered in copper. These are also typically limited run as the silver shield designs, which are, as the name suggests, also offered in silver. These tend to have a date and differ from their silver counterparts by calling out the copper content. Liberty Copper's Venus Round. A unique design only offered by Liberty Copper recently. I got a tube of these and I really like the clean design on the obverse. I'm not sure how long they'll be available, but I'm guessing it's fair to say they'll be limited in nature simply due to only being sold from one source. As usual, the price for a tube of rounds from Liberty Copper is hard to beat. Something 19 rounds. People might have a weird nostalgia someday for the tumultuous days of the beer bug of 2020, or they might hate even thinking about it. But rounds like these will harken back to a time when people were worried about dropping dead and twitching in the streets. You may be able to find a tube of these for a reasonable price right now. Cryptocurrency rounds. Crypto is one of those things you loved or hated, but how many also-rans would be forgotten to the mists of history if not for being commemorated in copper? Perhaps a fan of Litecoin will someday want one of your copper rounds. Liberty Copper's various bars, such as the Retro Designs, Zodiac, and, last but not least, Copper Mutant copper bars, are another option. Sorry, I couldn't resist the plug. Who knows how popular one of my bars will be in 10 years? Enough to command twice their worth? Or will they be forgotten until one day they'll be found after the apocalypse in a shack near the Whitman Mountains, south of Sierra Blanca, under a floorboard? That's a reference for a few of you. There's some other high-priced and very detailed proof-type collectible copper rounds, such as these Titanic or Egyptian rounds I've seen on sites like JM Bullion. But if you're trying to ride the line between affordable now but collectible later, I think these are a pricier gamble. There are custom art bars and pours. Pirate Stacker showed off some of these on his channel with an iridescent finish, and they were all one-offs and numbered. You might also find custom rounds. These tend to be popular, apparently. Lastly, and perhaps deserving of a video of its own due to being in a completely different category, is numismatic copper. I doubt I've ever melted down something of such historical significance to craft a tool, even after the apocalypse, but I have some in my collection, in part as a reminder of pure copper's place alongside silver and gold and currencies of the past, and because there's a value coin collectors place on such historic currency. Historic pieces of pure copper from ages gone by that hold or even increase in value over time could include items such as this 1752 Dutch Netherlands East Indies VOC Duit, also known as the New York penny. While wheat pennies are only 95% copper, if you enjoy sticking to the theme of pure copper, U.S. large cents of several different but similar designs were minted from 1793 through 1857 of pure copper. These could make an interesting pairing, or at least an interesting conversation piece with your stack, especially along with some of the designs that are offered by generic bullion rounds. I had to edit this video as I was creating it to add a comment about Liberty Copper's 20% off everything blowout sale. I've been following copper bullion round prices now for several years back from when the Golden Statement was my favorite, and if you go for a tube, Liberty Copper offers the best pricing I've seen. In short, it can be around $1.50 a round, and that's before the sale. If you've shopped around, you'll know I'm not just saying this because they make Copper Mutant bars and partnered up with me on that. I'd be a customer of theirs anyway at this price. It's worth noting that the Copper Mutant Bugout packs already have some built-in discounting, if you'd like to look at those. So fill your cart and just try the coupon code and see what you think. The code is BLOWOUTDEAL, one word. This isn't some special code of mine, so if you'd like to see me get a little credit, use the link in the description. It'll show them that I sent some fellow mutants their way. I don't see an expiration on the code, but I don't expect it will last very long. Hope you can snag a good deal. Well, that's all I wanted to share today. Just another way for your copper stack to hold and potentially gain value beyond its potential use after the apocalypse. Do you stack any unusual copper? Let us know if you do. Until next time, it's Copper Mutant, signing out.